Hello, and welcome to Handled-ish, Productivity for the Imperfect, a weekly podcast for those who want to elevate their productivity but are not looking for perfection. I'm your host, Betsy Hayes, and I'm really happy you're here in podcast land, on YouTube, or on the KC24 CBS 47 Plus app that you can download from your smart TV. And I think I'm also on CMAC.TV, the Community Media Access Collaborative. Thank you to everyone who carries the podcast. This is episode 111, Post Anything, Evaluation and Gratitude, Part 2. So last week we talked about how when something is over, a project, an event, a meeting, a gathering, a conversation. I mean, it really can be after anything is done. Sitting down and doing two things is really good for both strengthening relationships and also strengthening productivity. So last week we talked about the importance of gratitude and doing it, very quickly after the thing is over. So all the people that you can thank is fresh in your mind. I encourage just a big broad, wide net. So that way all the folks involved know that you are grateful. And as I was telling my students today, I don't know if you'll agree with this. This might be an unpopular opinion. It might be a hot take. Who knows? That the sooner you send your thank yous, the less brilliant you have to be. Because we were talking today about my theory about the more you procrastinate on a thank you, the longer it goes before you send it, the more pressure you feel that you have to be brilliant. You send a thank you right away, you do not have to be brilliant. So that's a little added incentive for not procrastinating on your thank yous. So after you have done your gratitude and sent all your thank yous and all the things and you're feeling good about that's when we need to do the evaluation, debrief, postmortem, whatever you want to call it. So a couple of frameworks that I love to use. One of my favorites is called Start, Stop, Continue. One of my colleagues calls that Keep, Tweak, Toss. And it's essentially the same idea that you look at the things that went really well, the things that didn't, and the things that you want to do differently, right? So start, stop, continue. What are the things you want to start doing that you didn't do? These are new ideas. These are twists. These are added partners. These are added items. These are, added pixie dust, special touches, categories, all the things, right? There are sometimes during the middle or afterwards, we think, oh my gosh, we should have done X, we should have included Y, we should have said Z, right? So all of that stuff in the start. And then the stop is, oh man, some of the stuff just didn't land, right? Maybe that speaker shouldn't be invited back. Maybe that piece of the program went too long. Maybe that was a caterer that you really don't want to use again. Maybe the timing of your event was wrong, right? So you want to stop that particular timeline. There's, lots of things that you may want to stop doing. And that's great, right? Let's toss them out. And then the continue can also be associated with the can have the tweak aspect to it. Is what are the things that went well or close to well, right? That you want to continue to do. You want to make sure that you really pay attention to this because you don't want to change everything so much that you lose the stuff that was really great unintentionally. So it's really important to go, okay, what really went well? What landed with folks? What made it a really good thing, whatever it is. What advanced our agenda, what made people feel welcome, what made people feel happy, what made me feel happy, all of that. And then sometimes we may want to tweak it a little bit. You can either add that in the continue category or in the start category. But often it's those little small adjustments that really can make a big difference. And again, the sooner after the thing you do the evaluation, the more productive and fabulous it's going to be, and the more value it's going to have. And when you're doing, debriefs, I kind of encourage sort of two lenses to look through. And I think it's important to figure out your lens before you start. So the first one is, I don't think I'm ever going to do this exact thing again, but I still want to learn and grow from the experience. And then the other lens is I'm absolutely going to do this same thing again. This is an annual event, it's a monthly thing, it's a weekly thing, whatever. I really want to make sure it keeps getting better and better. Those are two very different ways of looking at things. So pick your lens. Are you just trying to learn lessons that are a little bit more broad from the experience, or do we really want to get into the weeds and make this thing the best possible thing the next time we do it? Um, Please include your collaborators, right, in the debrief. I find it best to kind of do it all together. Some people like to do separate debriefs and then bring those notes together. I think all of that is fine. I am one who will take notes during things sometimes because you have ideas that you don't want to lose. I don't think that's a bad idea either. Bring those to the debrief session. Have, snacks. Don't have it be a very long. You can do most stop, start, continues or keep, tweak, tosses in about 90 minutes to 2 hours. And sometimes it'll even take less. Sometimes it can be 30 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. We're just fine tuning. We're kicking this out. We're adding this. Oh my gosh, we're so keeping this because it was amazing. Then you move on with your day. Most people, to be honest with you, I don't have any data, but I'm pretty sure just statistically, less people do evaluation than do evaluation. So make it part of your regular routine. It is a great way to not only feel really good about the fabulous things that happened, it also really helps you get better, which, as we've discussed, we are mostly here to grow and learn, right? So I think this is a really good way to do it. And then the last step, especially if you're going to do this again, keep those notes in a place where when you're ready to start planning the next time, you can access those and you won't lose your beautiful thoughts. So as always, it's really, really important to have somewhere to put your beautiful thoughts, right? We've talked about the three aspects of productivity, the calendar, the to-do list, and then the place to put all of your thoughts and ideas in a place that you can access them when you want to access them. So those are super, super important. And maybe we'll go into that process a little bit more in a future upcoming episode. And in fact, we should, right? Because we did the 5 W's of planning, but we didn't talk a lot about the how. We interspersed it, but maybe we need to get, a little bit more meaty into that. So post evaluation and gratitude, post everything evaluation and gratitude. You know what to do. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Do the thing and then move on with your life. And I think you'll be really happy that you did. Thanks. I'd love to hear what your processes are and if you do something similar, different, how it works for you. If you try this, I'd love to hear that, right? Feedback, feedback, feedback. Bring it, love it. Because again, that's the way we learn and grow, right? Operating in a vacuum is not the best policy for anyone. So it's really, really fun to hear what people think, whether they like the idea or not. Love to hear it if you don't like it, right? I'd love to know why, because that will probably help me think about it differently, which of course is really great. So until next time, have the most fabulous week. And remember, you are doing way better than you think you are. Trust me.